Alright guys, so this is our powder room, and this is the room that has bugged me since moving in. There are a lot of things about it that were unfinished, sort of undone, and we're going to take care of that tonight, working to update it and make it a little bit more stylish for our guests that come in. So I'll give you a tour first. Alright, so this is our main floor powder room in all its glory, with the purple tiles and yellow walls and brown cabinets. It was time for an update. We haven't done anything to this space since we moved in, and it really just needed some personal touches and a little bit more warmth to invite our guests in. So we're planning to do an update to the paint colors, the floors, the cabinets, and we'll see how this goes. Alright, so I'm back. I've prepped a little bit. I've wiped off the walls with a cloth, and I have my paint supplies. I've also cracked the window to give a little bit more ventilation in here. I'm going to be using a 3-inch roller brush. I've got a 2-inch paintbrush, and then I've got this edger from Home Depot, and then I just added it to like a broom handle that I already had to be able to get those edges up high. I'll just have to angle it better and do those angles, and hopefully I won't have to paint the ceiling as well. So let's get started. Little did I know that this edger tool would become one of my favorite tools for this entire project, and probably for any other painting project in the future. I took it off the stick eventually and just used it with my hand, and it smoothed the paint on so beautifully that I really didn't want to move on to using a roller brush at all. I was able to do the edges without getting too much splatter, and as long as you keep a fair amount of paint on there but not overload it, the paint rolls on really nicely and doesn't leave any lines afterwards at all. So I did switch to a roller brush for a time, and I went right back to my edger tool because it was just such an easy, clean way to do it without any issues, and I really enjoyed getting the paint on the walls with this specific tool. So as you can see here, I didn't have to pre-tape the area with painter's tape to prevent rolling over the tiles, and if I did get a little paint on the tile, I was able to easily wipe it off quickly, so it really saved me a lot of time not having to tape the corners and the edges because of this tool. I love how the color turned out. Okay, so we're gonna get started painting the metal soap dish and this other one we have over here for toothbrushes, but we don't use them for that at all, and we can't remove them because we don't have the matching tile to replace in that spot, as you can see. So we're gonna paint them out, and hopefully it'll just blend in a little bit better. So I'm going to start by cleaning it with a solution of, I put a bit of Dawn dish soap in here, some white vinegar, and then I just filled it up to about here with warm tap water. So just give it a shake, and it's really good at removing, see the blue Dawn dish soap, it's really good at removing any like grime and things like that. So we're also going to use this to wipe down the cupboards, the underneath cabinet here, before we paint that as well. So let's get started. Okay, so the cleaning is done, and I'm prepping the paint that I'm going to be using. This is the Rust-Oleum chalked aged gray paint. It says it's easy application and it coats in, or coverage in one coat. So we're hoping for that. We're going to do these two accessories and then also the cabinet underneath with this. So we'll get this prepped and ready. It says not to use a roller, but rather to use a brush. And because we use such a dark color on the walls, I'm going to start with a brand new brush for the gray. So let's get that part done. So not have to worry too much. It'll catch any of those drips or splatters, and we can just keep going with our project. So it's a really light gray. And this paintbrush is going in every direction. So we'll see how that goes. So here I'm just really coating the paintbrush to get those bristles to stick together before I begin painting out these fixtures. I'm going in with my brush very carefully to make sure that I'm not getting paint on the tile. I just go around the edges carefully, and in fact I didn't have an issue with getting paint anywhere other than where it was meant to be. So I really didn't need to cover the area with painter's tape as long as I was being careful. It says it was a one-step process on the can, but in fact it actually took me quite a number of coats to get these metal fixtures to look the way I wanted them to. Next, I take off the hardware on the cabinet doors, and then I remove the cabinet doors from the base cabinet to begin painting that as well in the aged gray chalk paint. I set aside the door handles with the screws attached so they'd be easy to find later on, and that was just a great way to keep everything together and organized. I'm back in with another coat of the paint after a few minutes and continued to cover it over until I was happy with the results. Painting out the base cabinet and going around it. As you can see, it was not a one-step process or one coat process. In fact, it took several coats for me to get it completely covered over, but that one small canister of paint really did do a great job. I was able to get this entire cabinet painted out as well as 3 of the fixtures, and I had more than half the can remaining at the end. So I was quite happy with the value that I got from this purchase. You can check below in the description, and I will list everything that I spent in detail and where you can get it so that you can also do your own bathroom or any sort of makeover DIY on a tight budget. So here I'm painting out the cabinet doors now. On this first cabinet, I started off without sanding it, and I just did a first layer of paint on it. These are laminated cabinet doors, and the paint adhered, but not as great as I would have liked it to. As you can see, it was going on, and it was giving a really great base, but it did take a couple of coats to get it to the place where I was happy with it. Now I'm touching up the fixtures once again with a third coat of paint, and for the second cabinet door I decided to sand it down first to see if the paint would adhere a little bit better and maybe use less coats to get it completely the way I like it. So I've sanded it, and then I've sprayed it down with the same mixture I started with and just wiped it, and then while I was waiting for it to dry, I've painted out those fixtures once again. And now that I put this first coat on, it has really made a difference, the sanding. So if you're looking to do 1 or 2 coats, then I would definitely recommend giving your material a quick sand just to help the paint adhere to it. But don't forget to wipe it down afterwards to get rid of all the excess sawdust that might be left behind to give you a clean working surface. Next, I go back to the cabinet frame, give that a second coat, and make sure that everything is fully covered. The Rust-Oleum chalked paint was super easy to work with. I didn't have excess dripping or lines after I completed the paint job. It was really easy to work with, so I was really happy about that. As you can see, I didn't remove everything from the base cabinet. I didn't have anything in there that I was concerned about getting damaged. Hey guys, so this project is taking a little longer than I expected. We are here days later. I took a break after I did all the painting and painting the cabinets and everything. So today the plan is cabinets rehung, and if we get enough time, we will hit the floors today on the peel and stick vinyl plank flooring. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm really hoping that I can get a lot accomplished today and this bathroom completed and off my list. So let's get started. So the space was screaming for a towel bar. I was fortunate enough to be able to repurpose a towel bar from our other washroom in this space. I kept it the silver hardware because I kept the handles on our cabinets silver as well. And here I am just replacing the cabinet doors. Unfortunately, I had to skip over showing you how I did the floors in this video. This video is already 14 minutes long, and that's more than I can ask for anyone to sit there. So check out our other video that is linked in the description for my vinyl floor plank installation. So here you can see what the cabinet looks like with the countertop, the sink, and the towel bar now in place. I'm so happy with how it turned out. I mean, most Pinterest pins, you're not finding purple or lavender tile on the walls. So I really had to come up with my own color scheme, and I'm so happy with how the darker color makes the washroom feel cozy, how the chalked gray really makes those fixtures blend in and not stick out like a sore thumb anymore. It's great to be able to have a towel bar because we didn't have one before, and I really do like how the mirror becomes a highlighted feature in the room because of the darker wall colors behind. So you can see the floor, just a sneak peek of what the vinyl floor looked like. We're going to add some extra artwork on this long wall that fits the space more, but for now I just love this little sparkle picture frame that I was gifted from a friend. We added this shelf on the back wall over the toilet. It's centered under the window, and it's a great spot for me to rehabilitate plants that just need an extra bit of sun, and it's also a great spot for me to decorate and add a little bit of a personalized touch. I really do like how the lavender tiles came out with the paint. In this space over here on the wall, I plan to add some more hardware, and we did also paint out the toilet paper roll holder. I've changed out the register on the vent in the washroom, and I just feel like the whole thing finally came together the way that I like it. I still need to change out one of those lights there, but I'm really happy with the end result.